And it worked?
Yeah.
Good. Keep testing.
Woohoo.
Keep testing just to see. Yeah, sometimes with Discord you have to like redo the calls, because if it tries to reset it while you're on a call, I think that's when it gets confused.
Okay.
So
that's literally the
yeah.
that was my saving grace, because I'm like, it's either this or it is what it is. Oi.
Yep. Yep.
What thing?
What are you talking about?
It's like the stick cord thing. Yeah, but I can't plug that into my computer. Like, it has... Yeah. I have, like, one of these for power, but it's like, I'd have to sit like this. I have to find a longer one that has... It has to have a C on one side, and then the old school universal on the other, so it's annoying.
I don't know if... Chelsea, I don't know if she's lagging. Are you lagging a little bit? For Cassie. Cassie's lagging a bit for me again. Like, the audio comes before the video. Okay, I'm gonna...
Alright, this one's a little longer, so I'm gonna...
So connected into my computer. My computer is like...
I have no idea what you're saying.
Yeah. Wait. At least set up the scene for us, because I don't know how this is starting. I don't know how this is starting. All I know is that we're talking. I don't know how it, like, where it works scene-wise.
Well, I know that I had gone back to the room.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, essentially, Key is... She's just going to be walking into the room. Whether Phoenix is awake or not, I mean, we assumed that Phoenix was awake. But, essentially, Key was out of the room talking to Cactus and Nessa. So now she's coming back in.
I'm probably just gonna be kind of sitting on the bed, annoyed.
Okay. Also, if I start lagging, let me know, and I'll log off and come back, and yeah. If it, like, lags or whatever, let me know. Cool. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Alright. So, Key walks into the room.
Phoenix is gonna look up and be like, hey. Oh god, I can't hear you.
No, I noticed. Hang on.
I'm like...
I think I have to change my... Let me change my settings. 1 second.
Okay.
I'm gonna change my sensitivity. Okay. Testing that, and then let me see if... Is that better?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I wonder if I turn off the... Really don't want to turn off the noise suppression, but I might have to. So if you start to get too much excess noise, let me know. I'm gonna have it off. Just because it picks me up a little bit better when I have it off.
Yeah, you sound great.
Okay. Cool. Okay. He walks over and she's just gonna look at Phoenix and say, "Hey."
So this was an interesting night.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Did you have a chance to talk to Noctis and figure out what he was doing?
Yeah. Actually, I did. Apparently, he had a run-in with the goddess of heartbreak, and I guess he had it in his mind that Asa hurt him. She made him think that he hurt him, and so he was bitter and angry, and I think he still is at certain people, but I wasn't gonna have that. I was gonna let it happen. I mean, we've gone through so much fucking trouble for him, so I couldn't just sit back and let it happen. So I
did you do?
basically well, I started out by just trying to figure out what's going on, and then I don't know, I was just kind of thinking about how with me, the memory situation, sometimes I can remember things. It's not like I can remember the face, but I can still remember moments. So I was thinking maybe with Noctis, if something was said or shown, maybe it would work. So I tried doing that, and I talked with Asa for a bit, and I think it worked, but only only for certain people.
So was he like, I guess before, was he just angry at the world, or?
Yeah. Angry at all of us, bitter, angry, upset. But mostly at Asa, because he was convinced that Asa had hurt him, had I mean, I don't know how much you know about the two of them, but he was convinced that something happened that didn't happen. It's like a false memory was put in his mind, and I didn't want Asa to have to deal with that. And so I had to figure something out. I had to basically knock to snap the fuck out of it in the best way that I could. And it eventually worked somewhat, but it was really weird. It kind of felt like every time I said something or something was triggered, it was kind of like he switched personalities even. I mean, one of the weirdest fucking things he did was apologize to me, and he never does that. And he meant it.
Noctis apologized? Are you
Yes.
sure?
I'm sure. It's fucking weird. Twice, actually, he apologized, and it was really weird. I told him to stop because it was weird. But it seemed like every time he earned an opinion back of someone, it was like he switched personalities. As strange as that sounds. So, it's kind of unusual, but it worked, and that's the main thing. I couldn't. Also, it was so sad, and I I couldn't let him feel that way. I guess I don't know, because it wasn't right. I don't know where Noctis where his personality stands now. I don't really know. I mean, he seemed to at least have somewhat of a decency to him. At least to me. And after a while, he wanted to talk to Asa, I'm sure, because he realized what was going on, but Asa went to sleep.
So he has to wait.
Yeah.
I can only imagine what his opinion of me is.
Funny enough, actually, you're one of the ones that he's alright with. He didn't seem...
I yelled at him. I tried to dump tea on his head.
Mm-hmm.
And
he
okay
snapped
with
at me. And he snapped at you. And he has done a lot of things too. I don't know. It's fucking... I told you, it's fucking weird. It's like... weird emotional process that I'm not entirely sure of. But, I know at least somewhat he seemed okay with you. Because, we were talking about some things, and he seemed okay with you. So
Well, I guess that means I'll get my apology eventually. Meaning I get to apologize to him. Unless he decides to change his mind again.
ugh, hang on. I think my sound cut out. 1 second. It did this to me earlier too. Hang on. Pause! Okay. It's back. Okay. I think it's back. What did you say?
Oh, crap.
The last thing I heard was that you'll get your apology.
Meaning, I get to apologize to him for what I did. Not that I'm looking for one. Like I was... yeah.
I mean... he did... I told you he apologized to me, so... it might happen.
I don't need an apology from him. Please no.
It's weird, right? Weird to think about.
Yeah. So used to the snarkiness, I like...
Yeah. Kind of what makes Noctis Noctis, right?
That's exactly what makes Noctis Noctis. The stun.
I did I tell him to get to know you a little more, to talk to you, and I said maybe a little nicer this time. Um
I don't know how to word it. Oh. So this interaction that he had that happened in Duska.
the heartbreak. I think so, yeah. I mean, I guess he told me actually Xylo was the one that showed him what actually happened. He said that she showed him being attacked and then showed him a truth as of compared to what he was thinking happened. So
I don't want to change the subject, but I'm going to. Real quick.
okay.
It's related, but when you woke up from Duska and Fina was kind of looking at Noctis, at Chang, and at you, he said, Fina said, 2. Did you run into more than one? Because I know about you forgetting your mom, and you can say that however you want to say. I know that you forgot your mom, but there had to have been another one if Fina was saying 2.
Um I I didn't want to worry about it. But I think so. Not I'm not entirely sure who or what it was.
Was this during the most recent time in Duska?
Yeah.
What do you remember?
Just hearing something behind me, and I tried to run. And I woke up.
Did I know that, we were in front of everybody and you might not have wanted to say anything, but is that the reason why you had torn clothes and blood?
Um, I think so. Probably.
You just remember running from
I
this,
didn't turn
or you just woke up?
I didn't I didn't turn around, so I didn't see anything. I just heard behind me, and um I was a little scared, so I ran.
And I'm assuming it attacked you from behind. Every time that someone has had a run-in with one of these, they've been left marked in a sense.
But I wasn't I mean there wasn't anything as far as I know, but I don't know if um as far as the whole memory thing, uh when I spoke to Zol, she did something on my hand, and it was like there's something there, but we can't see it. I don't know if it's like that.
Fina said hand. Bad.
Mhm. Um I don't know. I don't know.
If we are to believe the things that Fina had said about Noctis, he told me he had some kind of misbelief of being hurt by Asa. Chang's memory thing, your memory thing, these have all been true. If Soul did something to your hand, Fina's seeing that as bad as well.
The hand thing, I don't know as far as the marks and how any of those work. The only thing that I know, um, in regards to those marks, um, I I don't want you to be too concerned because it seems like there's ways that we can figure these things out. It seems like there's ways around them, but I've been told that if one of these unforgivables marks you, they claim you as their own.
So whoever scratched you, that then would have been their way of claiming you as their own?
Maybe. I don't even know if it was. I don't even know if it was one of them. I don't know. I didn't look, so I wouldn't know. Just it didn't sound good, so I just I ran away.
Did anything else happen, or did you just wake up?
For that,
After you started running.
I think I just woke up. But maybe that's what Fina meant by two. She said mind, memory.
And hand.
I asked Chelsea a question and she hasn't answered yet on if I can answer this or not. So I'm trying to stall. I'm gonna be honest. I'm
We'll come
trying
back
to
to
stall. Because I want her to tell you, but I don't know if I'm allowed to tell. So I'm waiting to see if that's allowed or not. Put a pin in
Perfectly fine. So then I guess Nyx is just gonna be like, well, I did want to just in general talk about what happened in Duska because I don't know where you went, but nobody was around me when I was wherever
Yeah.
I was.
That's kind of how Duska works. You sort of just appear somewhere and it's like an ever-changing plane. There's the golden children, the gods, they all have control over it, so it's not ever the same really. So you just kind of show up.
I was looking around a bit. I was hoping to find anybody. Like, I obviously didn't find Yule. I didn't find Noctis at all. Eventually I found Chang. But before that, I found Wei Young.
Oh.
Eating pork buns. Like, shoving her face with pork buns.
Was she was she physically there, or was she like ghostly? I mean, were you
I
able
held
to?
her hand. I held her hand. So.
Okay.
Why did you ask if she was ghostly?
Because when I met her, she was. It's like she was phasing in and out of Duska. Maybe because it was when she was just starting to have access.
The reason I ask is because I saw somebody else, but they were kind of what I would explain as ghostly. It was Ophelia.
You saw Ophelia.
She was
Did you talk to her?
behind Wei Young. No. It just, she was kind of like ghostly, so to me, I didn't assume that she was there because she was more.
When I went to Duska the first time, I did see her. A farm of her, I think. But it was really strange. It was like she was there, but just stoic and not registering anything. And Foss was with her. He was trying to get her attention, and he couldn't. And I explained to him that what we learned about how she's basically not awake. I don't know. She wasn't ghostly though when I saw her. As far as I know, she was just like almost as if she was in some kind of a daydream sort of a situation. So no one could communicate with her. Foss couldn't get through to her. But during that time, I also saw Wei Young. And she was mostly she tried to take my hand, and my hand went right through hers.
I definitely held her hand. I know for a fact. You don't. That worries me.
I think we're both thinking the same thing right now.
I don't want to say
it. If you saw her, maybe she's still alive. We know she's still alive, at least, because Wei Young, she didn't have any golden features, did she? Or was she?
Not that I remember.
Maybe.
Poor memory, sorry.
It's okay.
She did say. I told her I was looking for Henry. And she did say that she had to share her time in Duska with Ophelia. So I don't know if that plays any part in that.
I don't know either, because I don't. I kind of know how Duska works, but not entirely. So
This was my first
not sure.
experience, so I have no clue how it works. I had her come with me because I knew Chang was somewhere, and I wanted to see if seeing her would help him to remember. but I don't think it did.
Did he seem receptive at all of it, or?
I mean, he seemed cordial, but
Not like he knew.
No. I I had told him that person that we've been telling you you're forgetting, and kind of like did a head nod because I didn't want to make this child upset because her brother doesn't remember. But I don't think he remembered. She even brought him pork buns. I don't know. They came with me to talk to Xylo. So, what?
I was just skipped. I was just saying, we need to find Thanatos. Not necessarily for me, but I guess Chang said that could help him too, so.
Because of the thing that happened when we talked the last time?
Well, he mentioned that he found a god there, which I can't remember if he told us which one it was, but he said that god said death could help him. And death is Thanatos, so I'm assuming that basically means the same thing. Find the other half of Thanatos. It's kind of the same reason why I was so set on making sure that Noctis fucking remembered or knew that what he was seeing wasn't real. The idea of that little girl not realizing that her brother doesn't know who she is.
He did kind of sort of push her on I guess it was a tree swing when we visited Xylo. I think he scared her a little bit at first, but he got the hang of it.
Did Xylo have anything to say about it, or did she just, what? I mean, what did you talk to Xylo about?
Them. I mean, just really was looking for a little bit of, I guess, guidance. You know, she had helped me when I had that nightmare with Jinx. And I was just like, I didn't know. I know I had the necklace and everything, but I just didn't know how I could help Xylo. She had mentioned that, I guess in her way of mentioning things, that the necklace that I have, if I return it to physical place on our plane that I could become a knight for her.
A knight,
I
as
didn't get the
in
sense
like
that. Yeah. She wasn't telling me that I had to. She wasn't looking for. I didn't get the sense that she was looking for someone to just do her bidding. She was asking, she wasn't telling me.
do you know where I can't remember if she I mean, I know that we sort of talked a little bit about her and her situation. Do you know where to find her or what to do? I mean,
I had at one point asked Xylo about some other things as well. How to close the gates, and we talked about a lot. I have a general idea of where to look, but I don't know specifically, if that makes sense. But she did say that
where do we start?
She said that there was somebody, I guess somebody that's connected, like bound to Xylo, that they are working on a way, I guess, to close the gate. So the person's in Bone City. So whenever we get to Bone City, I don't have a name or really almost anything else to go by other than that. And I don't know, it doesn't make any sense, but the number, I think it was 410. I don't know what that means. It's really all I have to go by.
I'm sure we'll figure it out. It's fine. Another thing to add to the list, right? That we're supposed to figure out all these puzzles, all these.
I'm trying to prioritize, because if you try to do everything, it's gonna drive you crazy. I know what my priorities are, and I told a few people that I care about helping you, helping Ophelia, and I care about Xylo. I trust and care about Xylo. Ow.
Yeah, honestly,
My head, I'm sorry.
No, it's Honestly, Xylo is one of the ones who I feel like is the most trustworthy.
She's never given me a reason to not trust her. She's pulled me out of a few binds. All of us, really. She's the reason
Yeah.
we were in Duska to begin with.
Yeah. Do you know why we were brought there? I mean, was there a reason for it, or did she tell you?
Don't remember. Excuse me. Choking. Don't remember.
Check the chat, Chelsea replied.
I'm dying. Give me a second.
Please don't die.
I'll be fine. Okay, I can talk now. she didn't really say. I didn't think to ask her why she brought us there. I just saw the flowers and I kind of knew because that's how she's presented herself to me before.
Last time I was taken there, well, not last time. I think it was the first time I was taken there. I was assuming it was because of Chang's sister. That they wanted someone to know about her. So they brought. I apparently Noctis and I both went that night, and I ended up running into her. So if we all went, Silo brought us there. There had to have been a reason for it, and I wonder if we either missed it or if it was because of Chang's sister again, maybe? I don't know.
Maybe. The only other person I ran into was I did eventually run into Venri, his future self.
The future version.
He had the scar.
How how did that go?
I mean, as well as it could have, I guess. I don't really know him to have a gauge, but we talked about a lot, actually. He seemed to, I don't know how to word it. He seemed to have it in his mind that, I guess, he was a hero and we were the villains.
We, as in
Our group.
what does that mean?
I don't know what that means. I had asked him because he was being kind of standoffish and kind of rude. And I asked him out of frustration, I said, "Who hurt you?" And he said to ask you, but he has it in his mind that he knows what needs to be done, whatever that means. Like I said, it was a lot of things. He asked
What
about
needs to be
Fina.
done as in what?
Oh, I don't know. You're lagging. Sorry. I didn't mean to
No, it's
interrupt
fine.
you. It's just
Please,
you
please
literally...
do, because last time I hate when it lags. Okay.
So I'm like watching you, you're not saying anything,
Yeah.
you start talking, and then yeah. Anyway.
Okay, so he asked about Fina. What did he ask about Fina?
He asked what shape she took. I guess in our timeline is what he meant.
Why?
I don't know. I told him a Firehawk because I didn't register that made any difference to anything. But then he said, I feel like maybe I shouldn't have said anything because he said that narrows down a few things. Like it somehow helped him.
Being a hawk narrows things down.
That's what he said. He said, because I told him Fina was a Firehawk, and he said that narrows down a few things. Yeah, that's what he said. And then he kept flipping this coin in front of me. I don't...
Yeah.
What?
I never asked about the coin, but it's fucking Benry. Just anything he can do to look cool. I don't know if it has any sort of importance. I haven't been able to fucking ask him. I don't even know if he'll fucking answer me if I ask. So, because apparently he'll answer your questions. He'll answer Noctis's questions, but he won't fucking answer any of mine. So,
he did say to me that he will not answer questions that have been asked before. So these might have been questions you've already asked him.
see, but the thing is, when I ask questions, it's usually I can't tell you, you can't know, you're not allowed to know. I'm trying to change multiple things. What the fuck does that mean?
He did say that to me as well. He said it's not a simple answer. It was kind of annoying, actually. He said that I have a sense of loyalty that's risky. He was talking about you. He's wrong.
I don't I don't know if he is. I mean, I told you last time, but you shouldn't trust me. I mean, it's
And he tells
I
you all
don't
the
know what
time
sort of
not to trust him. Oh god, see, it's lagging again.
you know he's
I'm so sorry.
I think both of my roommates are home as well, and they're both probably using the internet at the same time. So I'm back.
So
Okay.
sorry.
I'd rather you let me know than to have it lag the entire video. Mm. Um, I don't know what sort of choices I'm gonna have to make. Or the sort of choices that are gonna be pushed on me. That I don't know what sort of decisions I'll make. He said, wait, he said not to trust him.
So he did say that to me as well a couple of times. He said don't trust him. He said his younger self is more trustworthy.
That
He also said that he likes to toy with you. Which made me annoyed.
doesn't make sense. He told me that I didn't trust him in the past and that he was getting tired of it. So why would he say don't trust him if he said that I didn't trust him? I know that at times, or I know Thanatos has this something over him, some kind of control, grasp, whatever you want to fucking call it. I don't know, but I know he told me that I didn't trust him, and I thought maybe on the other timelines that I didn't, and that was maybe how things went wrong. And it's weird to think that there were other versions of myself out there and that I didn't trust him, or
Well, he, like I said his younger self is more trustworthy, so maybe you didn't trust the current version of him.
I, I don't know. I'm so sick of this.
cryptic.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, he also said to tell you something about you're at 35 now. I don't know what that means.
Means he's still keeping track.
Of what?
I have this thing we do. The two of us, we play these games and keep track of who wins, keep score, who's better, who's winning. Last time I spoke to him, he said, well, last time I spoke to that version of him, he said that we were at 34 across the board. But right now, as far as I'm aware, I'm at 14 and Venry is at 13. So I don't know how he would be. How it. I mean, I know what it means, I think, but I don't. I don't know what he's counting. Because I haven't done any of that with him. So, I mean, I have his current version. It's hard to explain when there's two of them, but that's what he meant. It's just keeping track, keeping score.
So he's keeping score of something, but you don't know what might have changed that he would have been counting.
I don't mean, well, it's just I know. I don't know how to explain it. It's hard because there's two of them. There's the current version, and he and I are on 13 and 14. And the last time I spoke to his future self, he said 34. But I assumed maybe that just meant from his timeline, or maybe he's adding up all of the times that he's, I don't know, maybe we played different games in the other timelines, I'm not sure, but it changed to 35. I don't know. Because that's what he meant. Just
Gotcha. I did tell him in a way that I was trying to see if helping him somehow would help you. He told me to tell you not to save him. That he's not worth saving. But what I don't understand is he's also told me that he's not trustworthy. So, like, does that mean that you should? It's kind of confusing.
It's really confusing.
Okay, gotcha. I couldn't hear you at first.
Yeah, it didn't pick me up. Really confusing, and one thing that I can't stand that he's doing is he's making my choices for me. He's telling me, not making my choices for me, but he's saying I shouldn't, or I shouldn't feel a certain way in regards to him, and that's not his choice. And it's complicated because I know that because of Thanatos, he's not entirely himself. I know he's not the Venri I grew up with, but I've seen moments where it is him. And it's really hard to know when it's him and when it's not, and it's hard to see him like that, but
He did say you've told this to me before, and I believe you and I trust you, and he seems to think that I believe he used the word foolish to describe you for trying to convince us all that. I don't
foolish.
know much. I don't know much about him. I know what you've told me, and that's what I have to go by. It doesn't really matter to me his opinion on that, because it's not going to change my opinion of you or the things that you have to say. He then...
It's really...
Go ahead.
It's hard. I don't know. I don't know.
He told me he's already decided if he wants you to save him or not. Said something about discussing it with the body, that that they never wanted to find the body in the first place.
They as in
And
who?
if we go looking for it, he just said we never wanted to find it in the first place. And
Does he mean
he said they're already a completion. That if we try to find it, they'd fight us.
us? What? I think I know the answer, but what body was he talking about?
He just said the body.
But he said that they never wanted to find the body, right?
He said we never wanted to find it in the first place.
I'm trying to figure out if we means him and whatever sort of form Thanatos has, or if he's referring to both versions of himself. Did he say anything else about that?
That's all he really said that I can remember regarding that. I was getting annoyed because he called us insects. Then I almost felt like telling him off. And I stopped myself.
Next time, no. Next time, do it. You should have.
I didn't want to give him the satisfaction. And he basically told me that he wanted to know what I thought as one of your closest confidants. I didn't know that telling him my thoughts really would help the situation. Or if it would give him, like, somehow an upper hand. I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking.
What are your thoughts on it?
On what specifically?
All of it, I guess. On him, or...
I mean, I keep going back to the question that I asked him, which was who hurt him to the point that he feels clearly that I don't know. That I guess he's the hero and somehow we're the villains trying to destroy everything.
See, and strange in a way to me too, because I'm I'm trying to do what he says, but he won't tell me what to do. So if he somehow sees us as the villains, then I don't I don't know. I mean, both versions of him, the whole fucking reason that I derailed our entire mission as champions was from that fucking letter that he sent.
He just seems like, I don't know, like with the most respect that I can muster, he seems like a hurt child who's just acting out because his feelings got hurt about something.
Yeah, I I mean, I know he didn't exactly have the easiest life growing up. His the man who he grew up thinking was his father hated him. And then he finds out that his real father is dead. And I don't know. There were times he would try to talk to my father, but my father's, I mean, he's not here anymore. And I think maybe I don't know. I don't know. His mother, she focused a lot on Ari. He's, his mother also. She was in an arranged marriage. She wasn't exactly one to speak up or against her husband. So maybe he feels just alone. I know Ari never saw him in a bad way. She loves him and he's really important to her. I mean, the whole reason I knew he was missing in the first place was because of Ari. I'm not, I don't know, maybe somehow I kind of hurt him too. Um,
didn't realize that he didn't. I don't know. I didn't realize how alone he must have felt at times. But after the attack, I ran away, and I didn't want to be seen by anyone. I didn't want anyone coming to me, and the only person who knew where I was I. Maybe he feels like I abandoned him too. I don't know. The only reason I think that is because the first time we saw him in Duska, I asked him why he disappeared, and he asked me why I did. And at first I thought maybe he was talking about this journey, this trip, this champions bullshit. The more I think about it, the more I wonder if he might have been talking about how I disappeared. But I don't know for sure if that's what it is. I'm not sure.
Oh. I mean, next time you see him, I'm sure there will be a next time. I guess that's something you could ask. What he meant by that.
Yeah, I need to talk to you about something.
Okay.
I know of this friendship that we're forming here. And I cherish it a lot. It means a lot to me. I need to see Venri. I need to actually see him, not in Ska. And I am
Okay.
I need to see him before it's too late. I don't know how any of this is going to end, and I don't know where this is leading. And seeing Noctis the way that he was with Asa kind of scared me a little bit. So I just wanted to let you know I might ask Chang to take me to Glory Grove just for a day or two. I don't want it to seem like I'm leaving you behind. But right now the group kind of needs you more than they need me. And I'm scared if I wait too long, I don't know what's going to happen, and I don't want to miss a chance.
I don't know how they would need me any more than they would need you. What have I done?
They need your help getting that dagger. You're the one who knows how to manipulate Crystalline, and especially if I'm taking Chang, you're the only one who can do it. I know it's I know it's a lot because obviously, I mean, I know you have your bounty. But I also know that at least Noctis and Asa, they would help you
Would
how they
they?
can. Yes, they would.
I'm not going. I'm not going to stop you from doing what you have to do. Don't have to like it, but your mind's made up. I don't really trust anybody else in the group as much, or even as close to as much as I trust you.
Maybe it's your chance to I wouldn't say trust Car. I don't trust Car. But Noctis and especially Asa. I mean, Noctis has this weird emotional thing that's going on, so I know you have to consult with him, but Asa's the one who talked to me about this. I'm terrified to go. Trust me, I don't exactly want to just I don't even know what I would say. But I think he might be right. I think with shit happening and how bad it's getting, the longer I wait, the worse it's gonna get. And I would say that I could just talk to him in Duska, but I saw him in Duska and Thanatos came and took him away. And I guess that could potentially happen there too. I don't know. I don't know how it works in person. Just if I'm there, I might have a better chance at into him.
Like I said, I'm not gonna stop you from doing what you have to do. Obviously, you do understand that it takes a lot to trust somebody. I don't have the easiest time doing that. Given that everybody that I've put my trust in has either let me down or disappeared. And I know that you say I can trust Noctis, I can trust Asa, but I don't know them. And with Noctis's emotional roller coaster that he's on, how do I know I'm not gonna get Psycho Noctis?
I don't think you can, but you didn't really know me. Talk, and that changed. I mean, can't exactly say I appeared to be trustworthy at the start, right? You didn't. Did you trust me right away?
I didn't trust anybody right away. There's it seems like you're trying to maybe, I don't know, like downplay your own importance. Like, I don't want anything to happen to you over there, and I'm not there to help if you need me.
Noctis has a way to get a hold of me. He has that book that he can communicate with. I know he's going to check in because I also told him that I was probably going to go, and he also thinks that I should go.
I'm not saying that you shouldn't go at all.
I know.
I'm not saying that. I don't want you to think that I'm telling you not to go. I'm just
I don't.
not happy that you don't want me to go with.
No, it's not.
I understand you're asking me to help the group. I get that. I do. I'm not mad. It's just not what I would rather do.
That I don't want you to go with me. Honestly, if I could have someone with me, I probably would want someone with me. But I don't know if this is something to have someone with me for. I don't.
Well, I wouldn't want to, like, be there interrupting, but
I
just
know.
be, I don't know, down the block so you can come to me for support after or pep talk before. Like, you're my friend. Like, I want to be there for you. That's what friends do.
Believe me, I'm terrified just thinking about it. I don't even know what to say, where to start, or how it will go. But I'm also terrified that if I don't, I don't know. I just, if I don't, I might talk myself out of it. And maybe it's something he needs to know. I mean,
Well, I mean, we had that conversation before. That if you needed to tell him, to tell him. You know what's right for you.
Yeah. But I also don't like being selfish. I don't want it to seem like I'm just leaving you.
Who determines what's selfish? Do you think you're being selfish?
Yeah, I do.
Why do you think you're being selfish?
Because I'm leaving our group. I'm leaving you. I'm leaving Noctis and Asa. I'm asking Chang to take me somewhere for myself. Sounds pretty fucking selfish to me.
How many times have you done things for others? How many times have you done things for others with everyone else in mind?
I mean,
I'll
a
wait.
lot, but that's because I try to do it that way. I don't want to be selfish. That's my point.
Self-care and selfishness are not the same thing. And it's clearly something that's bothering you to the point you think it needs to be done right now.
I don't know. I obviously want to do it. And I think I've made up my mind that I'm going to, but I just don't want you to feel like I'm asking or saying that I don't want you to come with me. I don't want you to feel that way. I don't want you to feel like I'm abandoning you. I'm not.
You're doing what needs to be done to take care of yourself. I will figure out a way to be okay. I trust you. And even though I don't like not going, it's what you want. You've made up your mind, and I have to be okay with that.
I I said to Noctis, what if I go and then not want to come back? But I think think that I will want to come back. Just because I don't want you to be alone. I feel like, if anything, I honestly feel like Asa would hunt me down, drag me back himself if he could, if I didn't come back anyway, so...
Well, if you decide that you don't want to come back.
And my sound cut out again. 1 second.
Finish what I was saying.
I can't hear you. Hang on. Okay, I think it's back. What did you say?
I didn't finish it, but I was saying if you decide that you don't want to come back, I mean, you have to do what you have to do for yourself. You can't worry about how it would affect everybody else. You need to worry about yourself sometimes. I'll be okay. I always somehow find a way to justify and be okay with things that I don't like necessarily. I don't have to like it, but I respect that it is your choice to make and not mine.
Well, that's kind of why I was suggesting maybe, I mean, Asa and Noctis. I know I keep bringing them up, but it's because they've been just as much of a support system for me as you have. Maybe they can be that for you too. I know it's hard. I'm not asking you to just trust them right away. But you told me that you trust people because I trust them. They have
Yeah.
my trust. Snoring. The dog. Is that the dog?
Snoring, yes. Hold on. It's a bulldog. What do you want?
I was like, I think that's the dog snoring.
I wish I could show you her
That's
face. She's
too
just
funny.
like, what?
What?
Are you gonna get out of the room? She's just like,
Nah, she's okay.
now she's huffing at me. Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Okay. Um.
She's just sulking.
I don't want you to be mad at me.
I'm not. It's just another plot twist.
Believe me. I mean, I was considering it. I've been thinking about it, but I never thought that I would actually. I shouldn't say get the courage to do it because I really don't have the courage to do it. But I think it's either being afraid of doing it or being afraid of how much worse it could get. And I think my fear of the chance that it could get really bad is a lot stronger than going. I just I couldn't. I was able to help Asa or Noctis and snap him out of it. I think, but I didn't tell him this. I didn't tell Asa this because I didn't want to seem selfish again. But the entire time, all I could think of was how I would be reacting if something like that happened. If something like that happened to Venri and I had to see him like that. I don't even know if he feels the same way for me. But if he just suddenly started to hate me, I just... couldn't do it.
You didn't say when you were wanting to go.
I mean, honestly, I'm probably Chang as soon as possible. Because again, I don't know if I can, if I'll talk myself out of it, or if I wait too long, who knows what'll happen. And it is, I kind of told Noctis this, but it's honestly, it's really fucking hard to see the two of them together sometimes. I might be a little jealous.
It's okay to have feelings about things. I guess it's just important not to let yourself get consumed by them. You're not leaving because you're, as you said, jealous, right? To something you want to do.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't know. Maybe I've wanted to have a way to tell him for a while, but I'm also terrified because I don't know how to tell him. If I can barely even admit to myself how I feel. But again, it goes back to I'm more scared of losing him. And I try not to tell myself that there's a chance that my telling him could lead to me losing him. Because I don't know how he feels. Maybe he should know that he is important to me.
And I agree. I told you that before.
I am sorry. I know you don't like it, and I know I don't have to say I'm sorry, but I am.
It's okay.
I have to make the decision of when I'm actually going to talk to Chang, but and I don't even fucking know if he's going to say yes. Because if he doesn't, then I don't get to go. There's no other way I can get there. Unless I, wait until we all get there. But that'll be a while.
Does nobody else that we know... Has nobody else been there? Besides Chang?
I don't... Anyone that's been to Glory Grove... I mean, technically, realm jumping is illegal. We're only allowed to do it because we're champions. Technically, anytime I use that dagger, I am going against that law. But I don't give a fuck about those laws, as we've seen. The only thing is, there's a chance that the dagger, because that's how I'm gonna have to get there. I mean, that's the only form of realm jumping beyond going through the time realm. I'm not fucking going to the time realm. Fuck that.
No.
There's a chance that we could end up somewhere that's not Glory Grove. It's gonna depend on how well Chang can picture where to go. I know we will end up in Obscura because, as far as I know, Chang hasn't been to Obscura. But that's why Noctis said he would keep in contact. So he has that book that can communicate, so he would check in. But if something does go wrong, I don't know. I don't exactly. I mean, I never have a plan for something going wrong. I just didn't exactly have a plan to end up in Obscura that one time, and it happened, so.
So you could really end up going anywhere that Chang's been.
Yeah.
Such as back in Valentine Valley with Psyche and Marionette and whatever Hellbeast was released after we did what we did there.
Yeah.
And of course, my lovely family.
And that's... I didn't want to worry you.
It just popped into my head.
That's it didn't just pop into my head. That's part of the reason why I also think you should stay with the group. I thought of that. I just didn't want to say it because I didn't want to worry you.
Well, I thought of it, and now I'm worried. But if you think the less dangerous thing is for me to be with the rest of the group, then I trust your perspective.
Well, would you think that it's not? I mean...
No, you're right. Because if we ended up in Valentine Valley...
That's the worst place you
right
could
there.
go.
Yes. Absolutely, for me, it is.
Chang hasn't been to the gardens, so there's no way I can end up where my bounty is. If people here know about that bounty, I don't know what it's like in Valentine Valley. What they've put out. But you might be even more of a target there.
I know that they had my childhood face plastered about as missing, so... And here they just have every possible way they could imagine to portray my face and my hair.
Yeah.
I'm wearing this nice scarf. Only does so much to hide my face. I'm all of 2.5 feet tall.
The worst places we could end up would probably be Valentine Valley or the Hollow.
You were just in the Hollow.
It was, yeah. And I was okay. But situations there are not the best. So, even if we did end up there, the reason that would be such a dangerous location is Noctis seems unable to communicate if someone is there. So, he would know if that's where we went. He said he gets some kind of weird cryptic message in his book if anyone is in the Hollow, but he wouldn't be able to reach me, and I would not be able to reach him. And I know that the dagger works to go out of there because I have done it before. So it'd be fine, but it's also where I think that's where they're keeping Ophelia. That's where that mirror
Interesting,
manor
yeah.
is.
Mm.
So, that could mean there's dangerous people there.
Well, we've already had one run in as a with Mirror Manor, and I don't particularly care to think of you with Chang in Mirror Manor. And that's it.
There's a lot of ways this could go wrong. I'll be honest, there are a lot of ways. There's a lot of places we could end up. I mean, look at all the shit we've caused, all the eyes we've drawn.
Been a lot of places.
And that's why it has to be Chang's choice in the end on if this actually happens. Because I wouldn't be just putting myself in danger, I would be putting him in danger too.
Would it just be the two of you?
Yeah. Because I don't want to take I mean, I already told you why I can't take you, but I also can't take Noctis and I can't take Asa either. I'm fucking not taking Kar, or Skulk isn't here, Mari's not here. Can't take them. I think our group is splitting up. We're getting smaller and smaller, and I think that if I take another person, then that leaves this group here even smaller, and I don't know if that's good.
Well, the point
I don't know.
behind me asking if you were just taking Chang was to pass along a mild threat, if you would be so kind.
Hold that thought. My cat is literally shouting at the door. 1 second. Kyla! You are interrupted! What is...
Pass along a threat. Me pass along a threat, or he pass along a threat.
Oh, no. If you don't mind, you passing along a threat to Chang that if anything happens to you, I will hunt him down myself.
Oh, you can fucking tell him. I'm not gonna... You can tell him before we leave.
Just if I
Unless...
don't get the chance.
I'm not... That's the thing. I'm not gonna leave, just suddenly leave without saying something. I mean, you'll know when I leave. I'm not just gonna leave in the middle of the night.
I wouldn't know that. I didn't know if you needed to be, you know, moving at a certain time of day or announcing it in front
Oh,
of
with
the
the
group.
dagger. I don't think it matters that much with the dagger. I don't think Kara needs to know where I'm going, to be honest. I don't think Kara needs to know why I'm going.
Which is why I said, if you didn't want to announce it to the group, just
I
pass
wouldn't.
along
But I would
a nice little threat.
I would at least say something to you guys before I leave. Not that kind of a person. I'm not gonna up and disappear on you. I know that that's something that you're already a little worried about anyway, so
Sorry, my cat is like, pay attention to me. Okay, well, the request still stands if you change your mind and don't let us know.
I would want you to know. And then especially I would want you to know because then, you know, if something does go wrong, then you're aware. I just
Send out an SOS.
somehow. I mean, if anything, I don't know if it's possible, but if I somehow manage to get into Duska, and if you somehow manage to get into Duska, we can talk to each other that way. If we can find each other. While I'm gone, I mean, I'm making it sound like I'm gonna be gone forever. I'm not gonna be gone forever.
Well, you did say
Aw-
that you might not want to come back. So, if, like I said, I'm not trying to persuade you either way. I'm just saying if that's the case.
I have to come back. That's the thing. We haven't even made it to the gardens yet. And unfortunately, I don't think that anyone else can navigate through the gardens. You're gonna need me.
What? We
And
can't
I
just
wish
stumble around like
I
we
could say
did
that
in
I could
some
just not
places?
go. I mean, you could, but you might draw some eyes at me. I'm pretty sure that there's going to be a lot of shit there that's going to be going on. I'm not so sure how safe we're going to be there in the first place. We're going to have to avoid a lot
Are
of
we
stuff.
safe anywhere? I'm
No.
not safe here.
We're really not safe anywhere now. Which is kind of why I, strangely enough, don't really care what sort of danger. I mean, I do care, but what's thrown at me, I guess. So much has happened now that it's just sort of feeling normal. So weird. Probably
That makes
not a good
perfect
thing to
sense.
say, but
I've been going through traumatic events my whole life. I understand where you're coming from.
um was there any no, we just went on a long tangent, but is there anything else you had to ask? I mean, anything else about Duska or in general?
I have 2 pages to check real quick.
You're fine. That's I was like, we're moving to the next subject because I know you said you had a lot. So I was like, okay, let's go.
Pretty sure we covered all of it. Yeah, we did. Don't have any other questions or anything.
Do you think this is going to be a weird question, and I don't really expect you to know the answer, but do you think we're the same in all of the timelines that have been seen?
I mean,
I just find myself wondering if what's changed, if it's us each time, or if I don't know. You said to me once that you
Honest-
can't help but think in other timelines that I would think this way, especially when it comes to Venri. But then he says certain things, and it's hard for me to think that that's the way that I would be.
I mean, based on this is just basing it on the conversation that I just had with future Venri. I think that maybe we're not the same in other timelines. He said, he asked me if I was gonna punch him in the face like I did before, and I mean, I wanted to, but I didn't. Does that make sense?
Why? Why didn't you? Yeah, why didn't you?
Because I have a sense of restraint.
Yeah, well,
Maybe I didn't have that sense
Kind-
of restraint before. I don't know.
Honestly, he fucking deserves it, so you should have.
He said he probably did. I kind of agreed with him. Maybe it was just a verbal punch in the face.
I don't know about him. I mean, I do know about, yeah. Kind of feels like the more and more that we're learning, the more and more he says, the more confused I'm getting instead of getting more answers. I'm starting to get tired of it.
Well, can you get out of the camera? what makes you ask that question?
Which question?
About if we're the same in other timeline. Did something provoke that?
Well, I don't know, it's something I've been wondering for a while. Just suddenly knowing that there's different timelines out there, different versions of ourselves, and weird thought to think that there's multiples of us out there. It's also a weird thought to think that maybe they're different from us. I also don't know how I'm supposed to fully convince Venri from our timeline not to make a pact. I can't just say, hey, I've seen your future self. I've seen the way this goes. I've seen how it affects you. Don't fucking do it.
So then you don't tell him that. What you tell him is the things that you've told me already that you need him to know. He's not alone. Tell him that you care about him. And you're worried that what he's going to do is going to change who he is because you appreciate who he is now. You don't have to tell him that you've seen his future. You tell him you've seen his now, and that's what you like. And that he matters now. He hasn't made his choices yet.
Yeah. Just kind of worried that maybe, I don't know, there's a part of me that's scared that if I tell him certain things, it's actually going to make him want to take the pact more, as opposed to not taking it.
Like what things?
I'm worried if I tell him about me needing to find Thanatos, that it might make him want to just take that pact. Because especially now with what you said, if he said, I mean, when you talked to his future version, if he basically implied that Thanatos is already a whole. What if he does that because of that? Does that make sense? If I tell him I need to and the reason why, what if he thinks that by taking the pact, it will help me?
So you tell him that you don't, just tell him you don't want him to do that. That he doesn't need to do anything else to be the person who you already see him as.
Yeah, but growing up with him, he always had this thing where he wanted to like protect people, or he wanted to stop death, defy death. Just worry that maybe I don't know, he's already lost a lot of people in his life. Maybe he thinks that taking this pact will be a way he can prevent that, but I'm just worried that if I tell him what's really going on, that then that's the situation. That he's gonna just...
I mean, you said he's lost people. Like, and maybe this is just me thinking strangely, but just because you lose people doesn't mean they aren't still there. Does that make sense? Like, for instance, technically, I lost Finnegan, right? But it's just his body that's gone. We haven't found his soul, but we know it's somewhere, right?
I mean, maybe. Do we know that for sure?
Well, it was at one point. It's just
I would like to think... Yeah, I would like to think in his situation that's what it is, but I don't know if that's for everyone. I mean, I don't know if there has to be like a process of some kind to make the soul separate. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but just with my experience, I guess. I mean, I've lost people too. Lost... But I don't know if their souls are still out there.
I mean, where would they be? They've got to go somewhere. They don't just disappear.
I guess
I never told
that's true.
you guys. Sorry, you were lagging, and I guess you were talking, and I was talking. And I'm sorry.
Stupid lag.
I'm so
Don't
sorry.
apologize. It's fine.
So I never told you guys this, but there was one person in my family that I was, but she passed away. And it was my grandmother. And I still have her necklace. because it's, to me, like having her here with me. It's important to me. So for me, even though she's not here, she still is. That's what I mean when I say that the people that you care about, they're not gone just because they pass away.
You mean like you feel her presence, or she's there?
I think it's just different. Like, it's not. Maybe it's, I don't know, maybe it's memory, maybe it's just wishful thinking.
Like, it's like what Elle told me. She said, through death, there is memory, which is why we have to find Thanatos. Apparently.
Didn't make that connection.
It's, I don't know if that's the soul thing, or if that's just, memory, like you were saying, but, yeah. But
Yeah,
I guess it's just a question of if that's something that's felt by everyone. I mean, everyone's lost people. I know everyone's been through shit. I don't know.
I was just saying, I think it's just, if you think that that's something that would have an effect on him, that it would be a good thing to just remind him that just because people are gone doesn't mean they're gone. Just because you, of your own admission, left him, in a sense, doesn't mean that you were gone. You still cared about him. You still thought
Oh,
about him.
I
right?
did, but I don't think he knows that.
So tell him. That's what I'm trying to say. Even though your physical presence wasn't there, you were still there for him.
Yeah. Just kind of, easier said than done, I guess.
Well, you're already doing the hard thing. So what's one more hard thing in a list of hard things to do? I seem to remember someone telling me something very similar to that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Sure you don't.
No. I have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. Do you think I focus too much on the future version of Henry?
I don't know what would constitute too much, but what I think is that, like I've said it a few times, you know, he's made his choices. He's already done God knows what, God knows how many times, and how many different ways. The current Venry hasn't. I don't think he should be held to the same regard in that sense, because even though his future self made those decisions, he hasn't. I don't think that it's wrong to trust Venry if that's what you're asking. However, I don't necessarily know that putting stock in the future that hasn't happened yet is wise. Does that make sense?
A little bit, yeah.
I'm not saying that to hurt your feelings. Just, you know, you're my friend and I want to look out for you and, you know.
That's why I asked. Because, you know, I talked to Noctis and Asa about it too as much as I can. And I know that they both don't like him. They haven't technically his current version that I know of, at least. They've only really met his future version, but I know Asa really doesn't like him. And Asa basically told me that I do focus on him too much.
I wouldn't say that I don't like him. He just makes me nervous. I've told you before, I don't know enough about him. He was a little evasive about some things, but he did have a conversation with me. Did tell me a few different things, so I can't. It's kind of. I can't necessarily say that I hate him. He just makes me nervous. Because some of the things that he said were contradictory. And of course, it has to do with you. So obviously, I'm going to be nervous about that.
I think they hate him because of something he did in Obscura. Maybe.
Excuse me? Go on. Pray tell, what did he do?
um he appeared out of nowhere.
That's when he had the little dagger thing, right?
Um yes.
Okay.
Well, you have to have the daggers for the time thing to work. So he has all the daggers. But he came up to me and he uh, hmm, he kissed me, but it was also at the same time he was trying to take the dagger from my hand.
Okay.
So I don't know if he did that just as some kind of distraction so that he could just take the dagger. And I mean, he was swapping the blades so that we could get out. But originally he didn't ask for the dagger, he just tried to take it.
Okay. And do you just because I know it's he's not always himself. I don't think that how do I put this? I'm gonna take anything that has to do with future Venri with a grain of salt just because I know that there is that connection. So maybe it's not necessarily Venri, it's
Thanatos?
Thanatos.
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot the name for a minute, so I'm like, the other one. Did you get any sense that it was?
Um, maybe.
What do you mean?
That that moment, it was kind of obvious to me that he wasn't fully himself because there was a very brief moment that I saw that was him. It wasn't enough for him to say anything. It was just like a flicker. Before it just his eyes like they flashed purple. It just I know it's hard to know whether or not it's him that you're talking to or Thanatos. Or if it's somehow both of them at the same time. If she's letting him say certain things and not everything he wants to say. I know she has some kind of control on him. But that's also why it's so hard for me to watch or to see that, because those moments I see the flickers that are him, that's what makes me want to help so bad. So I know preventing his pact with this current timeline, obviously I want to stop that, but it's hard for me to only focus on that. It's hard for me to have to watch her take, even if it's another version of him.
Well, my thought was that if you help current, that it helps future.
I know it will affect our future. And that's where it's complicated, because I know I know it changes the future, the course, his course, our course. But just having, like, I want to have both of them. I don't know how else to describe it.
Well, I was just talking about by focusing on the current, you're going to change the future Fenry. I wasn't referring to the rest of us.
Yeah, I know. Now I'm even more confused, because you said that he said not to trust him, and when I spoke to him in Obscura, he said that I didn't trust him in the past, and I know there was a moment that it was Thanatos talking to me more so than it was him. But that doesn't mean that it's easy for me to just either ignore this future version of him, or to not care, not want to help. I mean, if two versions of anyone, if somehow a future version of myself came back and was talking to you, if something like that was happening to me, but it was a future version, how would you react to that?
I can't even begin to say. Can't pretend to know how to fix it for you. I do know, I don't know if I said it earlier or not, but I do know that this Venray that I talked to wanted me to convince you to hate him. I can't do that. It's not my job to manipulate your feelings about anyone. You feel what you feel.
Why would he say that? Why would he want me to hate him?
It was around the time he was saying that he's not worth saving in his future form. That's what it was.
So he was just talking about his future self.
Notes. I guess that's what he meant. He just said that you shouldn't save him and that he's not worth saving in this form. But, I mean, is that just his opinion of himself that he's not worth saving? Maybe he's trying to change himself
Well,
because whatever form he's in isn't good enough in his opinion.
I don't know if it's that or if I don't understand that either. Don't fucking see myself hating him.
And I'm not going to force you to hate him. Or convince you to hate him.
Why would he want me to hate him? I don't.
Because it makes you easier to manipulate and he likes playing games with you? I don't know. Those are all just based on the other things he said to me. That's not my opinion, it's just what he's said.
But then it's that question of, was that him saying that or was that Thanatos?
I wouldn't know.
I know you wouldn't.
I don't know the real Venri. I don't know wouldn't know what to look for to see that glimmer of the real Venri. I just can only go by what I've experienced and witnessed. I know that when we woke up and Chang was talking about the moth or whatever, you said something about it can manipulate your dreams.
Yeah.
Right? I know that I physically touched Wei Young for sure. I held her hand. I touched Xylo's tree. Don't know that I touched Venri. I didn't smack him. I didn't punch him in the face. I do know that when he woke me up, he thumped me on the forehead.
I'm sorry, what?
On the forehead.
I'm gonna fucking smack him. Doesn't mean I hate him. In case he's fucking listening right now, I don't hate him, but I'm gonna fucking punch him.
So I don't know if that counts.
I mean, I know that in order to know if it was real is whether or not it was cold or if it was warm. You know, the warmth you feel when someone real touches you. I don't really know how you would be able to know that from.
A forehead thunk.
Why would he do fucking?
Probably to get under my
Yeah,
skin,
probably
because I don't
because
like,
that's
I don't like someone pointing out my stature and my
because he's a
childlike
fucking asshole.
features.
It's you can. He is.
Tendencies.
Yeah, tendencies.
Listen, I'm trying to be nice about it, okay? Let me be
I
nice.
appreciate you trying to be nice because the other two don't really make that effort. But I also just your opinion, if you think one way of him, I can't change that. Same way you're saying you can't change the way I feel. Noctis also, they hate him. I can't change that. I wish I could, but I can't.
Well, we've talked many times about the fact that I like to have the big picture, the full picture. And I've only met half of it.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone
So-
has. I don't think anyone else has met the one I grew up with. Besides, I mean, Juniper has obviously met him, and she's a bitch.
Well, tell me how you really feel.
Well, she told me how she felt, so she's a
Who cares?
bitch. She's a bitch. She's a bitch. She's been through a lot, she's lost a lot, and I get that, but she's also a bitch. So
Isn't she a child?
she's a child. Yes. She's a child.
Maybe she'll grow out of it. Maybe.
I don't know. She fucking hates me for reasons she won't tell me. She won't tell me either.
Why?
Because apparently,
Because
yeah,
Yuri doesn't
because
want
she's
you to
aware
know?
that they're them, and she knows an outcome, and she knows timeline shit, and she hates me for something. Won't tell me what it is because he says that I can't know, so she says I can't know. And I
So
Hmm.
never mind.
fucking lying if I said I wasn't confused and maybe a little jealous that she knows and I don't.
Why would she know?
Fuck if I know. Ask him. I don't know. Why is it okay for her to know? I have no idea. Think I'm more mad about it than I realized. Probably because it's her.
I mean, don't know her.
Yeah, well, when all of us do get the chance to actually meet her, just be warned.
I'll punch her in the
Mm-mm.
face.
I mean, you can, but she might punch you back. Kind of strikes me
Good.
as that kind of a person.
Good. I need to get out some frustrations. Who better than on a child? She's not nice to you. I don't have to be nice to
No,
her.
she was not nice to me at all. At all. Apparently, in her opinion, the only people that should matter to Venri is her and Ari. Not me.
And why is she placing herself in that category?
What was that? Sorry.
I said, why is she placing herself in that category? Why is she important?
That I can't
Why?
answer. Because he is the one who, I guess, saved her from where she was. He's the one that got her out of that place. And I think he also has some sort of an attachment to her. When I saw him and Duska, they were playing a game, shooting fucking crossbows, keeping score.
Isn't that like your thing?
Yeah. Yeah. And he, annoyingly, he was okay with losing, which of course he was losing. Ha.
What, is he not good at shooting a crossbow?
Yeah, archery's my thing.
Oh.
He'll tell you, knife throwing is his thing. Sneaking around,
Noted.
knife
Okay, red
throwing.
knife fight. Got it.
Which I can't lie, it's true. He's got, that is his thing. Yes, but that is our thing. But I don't know. Maybe she needed a distraction. Maybe he needed a distraction. He walked away when I showed up, so.
And that's current Venri?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was just like when we were just in Duska, that was when I saw him.
Gosh. Okay. And you said he was pulled away?
Yeah.
Why?
Because there was a breakthrough at the wall.
I missed that. I'm sorry.
There was a breakthrough at the wall. So she needed him. She needed to use him to fight off whatever had broken through. Which apparently means that she can utilize either of them. Or I don't know if that means that there's two versions of Thanatos. If there, I have no idea. But she took him away. We were having a nice time. Well, we just also played a game. And
You beat him.
I did. That's because
Good.
it was archery, and part of me wonders if he just let me win. I don't know. Because he knew that I was stressed. And I think I was gonna... I had so much more I wanted to say to him, and I didn't get the chance to because he was taken away.
And what did we learn?
No, was I supposed to learn something from it?
it seems like you learned to seize the moment when it's there.
It's what am I supposed to just fucking the first time I see him, just look at him and say, "Hey, by the way, I might be in love with you."
Yeah. Who's to say he's not gonna get taken away like that again? Make your own moment happen. You're gonna do it anyways. Rip off the band-aid.
Picking me up. Hello? Can you hear me? Okay. That's terrifying. I can't just jump in and say that. Because that's the first time I've said that out loud.
Oh, I thought it was obvious. Love you.
By the way, her face is gonna it's probably like bright red at this point. um
It's okay.
it's terrifying.
But is it true?
I mean, yeah. There's a reason I'm going so fucking crazy. There's a reason I'm so jealous when I look at Asa and Noctis, and why I struggle with the fact that I can't tell him, but I struggle with the fact that there's two of them. Literally every thought that I have is almost always about him. So yeah.
Okay. Rip off the band-aid. If you don't... Oh, sorry.
I
Picking you up. I'm like, it's not picking you up.
You make it sound like it's easy. Chelsea's
What?
amused.
I didn't say it was easy, but what good does it serve sitting around and just agonizing over it all the time? And don't tell me that you don't.
It really that obvious.
A little bit.
Fuck. I think I know I said that's why I wanted to go to Glory Grove. But just thinking about actually saying it. I haven't even been able to say it that was the first time that I said it was to you, and I didn't even mean to. It just came out.
The word vomit. If you can say it to me,
You're not him.
I'm also like a relatively uninterested third party.
That's why it's easier to admit it to you.
So pretend like you're talking to me.
He right, yeah, looking in his eyes and imagining that I'm just talking to. That's not gonna work. That is not gonna work.
Nobody said you had to look him in the eye. And
What am I supposed to do? Turn around and say,
No.
"Oh, hey, by
Just
the
like-
way." Just
be like. I can't with your faces.
Miss, leave her alone.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Why are you laughing at me?
I'm not laughing at you. I'm just. I think that by worrying about it, it makes it harder.
Well, now,
You're stressing yourself out more by worrying.
yeah, I am worrying about it now. Especially, I am worrying about it now because now I'm realizing I don't fucking know. I know I said that I didn't know what to say or how to say it, but now I'm realizing that I know. Ugh, it wasn't. I know.
You know what to say now?
No, I don't. No, I don't. Nope. Don't.
You just told me what you need to say.
Oh, what? Prepare a monologue. Write it out. Bring the paper with me and hold it in front of my face so I don't have to look at him while I'm saying it.
I mean, you could write it out and be like, I didn't know how to say this.
You know what? I could.
Here.
Mm. Yeah, I could write it out. Oh,
What do you mean by that?
I don't know. A letter.
You better watch yourself. She's gonna get you.
I don't.
If it makes it easier.
I don't know what will make it easier. Or if anything will.
Either way, you have to do it. I think it's obvious that you have to.
I'm gonna hide forever. I'm just gonna hide forever. Just
Listen, you just put me through emotional turmoil, telling me you're gonna run away to go talk to him. You are going. You're gonna tell him how you feel. And then if you decide you want to stay, you stay. But if you want to come back and run away from that, you can come back and run away from that. But you're gonna do it.
yeah, I'm sure he really would appreciate me just popping up, being like, "Hey, by the way, I love you. Okay, bye." Disappear.
Fair's fair.
What does that mean? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how to say anything. I don't know if I ugh. I couldn't even answer Asa when he asked me. No, I know. I'm not expecting you to give me the answers, to write it out for me, to say or do or whatever. It's, fuck.
I'm your cheerleader in your corner.
Huh.
Yay.
You know, Noctis kind of said the same thing in a way. He gave me this. She holds up a little on her belt. She tied a little necklace thing that has like a red teardrop shaped gemstone on it. It's like he gave me this to take with me. I don't mean that in the way of him being a better friend. I just mean that he had something to give me because I honestly, he might not get it back. Because I might be holding on to it so tight that it might break. I realize how that sounds. I wasn't meaning it like that. I need to, okay, oh my, if this is how this goes, then fuck it, I'm fucking failing at this too.
What do you mean?
If I go and I act like this, this is what I was saying. I might be able to talk, I might talk myself out of it because now I'm scared.
So, Nix isn't gonna say anything. She's gonna take off her necklace and put it on Key. She's gonna be like, now you have two things.
I wasn't trying to ask. I mean, I'll.
You didn't ask, but you know how important this is to me. And now you don't just have me, you have me and my grandma. So now you got three.
I both obviously appreciate that, but I also hate that I hate that I put you in a situation where you do something like that. I just
Care about you?
I didn't mean that, but Uh, that might be a whole nother conversation.
You literally just... Did you say anything? Because you just, like, froze.
Fun. Am I back? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. What did you miss?
All I heard was that might be a different conversation, and your eyes got, like,
Okay.
stuck.
Well, yeah, she didn't say anything after that. She just said that might
Okay.
have a conversation.
What might have to be a different conversation?
Caring? I don't know. You said earlier that I am discounting my importance in all of this, and I honestly still have yet to actually see what my importance fully is. Even with people telling me otherwise.
Well, then we'll just have to keep telling you. And reminding you. Maybe one day you'll get it. We care about you.
I don't know what I've done for people to care that much, I guess. I can't ask you to not care because it's the same thing where you're saying you can't change how someone feels, but I don't understand it. The same way I don't entirely understand why you have so much trust in me.
Because you're good peoples.
Am I?
Yes.
It's hard to think that, I guess. I don't know. It's hard to think that after so long of having everybody in my own realm looking at me like I was a monster of some kind. And apparently now they actually all think that I was associated with Hex and worshipping Hex, apparently, and that's the reason that I did that.
Why would they make that association?
Apparently that's what Mother Nature is telling everyone, so. That I used my own family's death as a cover.
But what would Mother Nature be trying to prove by lying about that?
Oh, you know, she's the trustworthy one. She's the leader. She needs everyone to believe in her. She needs everyone to think well of her, think that she's going to protect them from all of this shit.
Yes, but how does lying and blaming you for things that aren't true
Because I
justify that
am
end?
reason a lot of people died. And on top of that, I'm also the one that
You're not.
was chosen to be a champion, and in her mind, I betrayed her. And I guess in a way I did sort of be the title champion, but I didn't really want it in the first place, so it's her own damn fault for choosing me. But that's beside the point. She's trying to make me bad and make herself look good. And I know, in a way, that only proves my point, that proves my thinking. But no one really knows that beyond a select few people that would believe me. And that's like 3 people. So maybe if... well, I don't know.
I don't know. It just seems like a diversion.
Yeah. Like someone.
Throw off the trail by blaming something, maybe something someone else did, and making you the culprit for it. I don't know.
I don't know if I'm ever going to believe that what happened wasn't my fault. I made a stupid choice. I did get a lot of people killed. And I did steal from my leader. But obviously, she added to that. She used it to her advantage. She used my story as some kind of... some way to make herself look better.
I don't think that you are the reason. I don't believe that. I think that you told me you saw something and you went after it, yes?
Yeah, I shouldn't have gone after it. I should have alerted people. That's the job of a scout. You shouldn't... your job is to, if you see something, to alert others so that if it's something you do need to fight, then you can go after it with a group. I didn't do that.
So, but your intention was to do what when you went after it? Was it to hurt people?
No, of course it wasn't. I was...
Okay.
but that doesn't mean that it wasn't my fault. I knew what my job was, and I didn't follow it.
You didn't kill those people. You did not do that. It was not you.
I don't know how that can be said, because if I didn't make that choice, if I had alerted, then I'm sure that they could have had the forces go in, and they could have... everyone might not have died.
And you're worried about if and maybe possibly what could have also happened is you could
Maybe I
have.
should have.
No, you shouldn't have. Absolutely not. Things would be a lot worse off. At least, maybe I'm being selfish, but at least for me, things would be a lot worse.
It's hard to believe it when I'm just so used to seeing or hearing and knowing everyone. My realm. Everyone knows who I am, and it's for that reason.
Because they're regurgitating information given to them by a corrupt leader that wants to set you up to fail.
Yeah.
I don't think that listening to people who don't have all the information or even any of the correct information is not that it's not important to care about what other people think, because there are times that it is, but I don't think that it is important to listen to people when they don't have the right information or enough right information to make a conscious decision for themselves.
Yeah, I guess it's a little hard because even I don't have all of the right information necessarily. So it's easier for them to say that. I mean, there was a time I was convinced that I didn't see anything, or maybe there was a time I even thought that I made up the idea that I had seen something only to cover up the fact that I'd basically gotten everyone killed.
And why did you think that? Because other people told you you made it up?
Because it was easier to think that I'd made it up than to admit that I was stupid enough to go after something
It's
myself.
not stupid. What you did is not stupid. Because if you hadn't done that, you could have been slaughtered with the rest of
Or-
the people that died.
Or we could have all fought that thing. I mean, I don't even know if there were more of them, if it was just the one. Or if
Thank you.
No, I don't.
don't
And
know.
it could have been a situation where if it was just the one.
But what we do know is that you survived. And that's a guaranteed thing. You survived. We can't guarantee that would have happened the other way around.
I don't know. I have a lot of questions about that anyway, and I don't even know who the fuck to ask. I would ask Kareth, but I don't even know if Kareth is.
Do I know who Kareth is?
Yeah. Venri's brother.
Ah.
Yeah. Also, one sec, my cat is at the door again.
I will be right back.
Ray, you're taking forever to get in. Just come on. Fine. Okay. I'm sorry.
I am back. Kirith is Venry's brother. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was the one that found Key.
Hmm. Have you asked him?
I didn't really ask before. I know. I guess I never really thought about asking. It's just kind of, again, easier to accept what everyone was saying. It's easier to. I wanted to move past all of that. I wanted to run away, and I did. So I didn't. I don't know, but I don't even know if I'm gonna get that fucking chance anymore. So.
Well, if you do, are you gonna take it?
I mean, yeah, but that all depends on. I think I told you about how he could potentially be being used in some way for like a host for Hex.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's the case, I'm not sure if I can talk to him. That's another fucking thing I gotta worry about too. That's part of the reason why I have to make sure that when we go to the gardens, I am there. It's not just Venry that I'm worried about.
You've got a lot of people that you care about and that you worry about.
Yeah. And the main three are all in the same fucking family. So, makes it a little harder to know that I now have to worry about all three of them. And I don't really know if I want to. I don't know if I should tell Venry about either of them, about Ari. He keeps asking about Ari, and I don't know where she is right now, which is the truth. I don't. But I have seen her a few times, and I haven't told him that I have.
Maybe you should. Be like, in the spirit of honesty. Here you go.
I could. But then it goes back to the same thing of what if that's the thing that makes him take that pact? Trying to protect someone. I have no idea if saying anything is gonna prevent or encourage his choice.
So you're walking on eggshells instead. and not making choices for yourself.
Sometimes I feel like it would be better if I wasn't aware of the fact that there was a future version of him around. But the other part of me knows that it probably is better that I know. Because if there's a chance that I can prevent that sort of an outcome for him. I don't know if I would have known about it if I wasn't aware of him.
Probably not. You are.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I
So bottom line, you're leaving.
maybe.
You're gonna go talk to him. No, you're leaving. You're gonna go talk to him. And then if you decide back, you'll know how to find me.
I mean, I have no plan, no intentions of just abandoning you guys. I think you still need me.
Yes.
Yeah. But yes, I also do think I need to leave. But I didn't want to just leave. I wanted to make sure that you knew.
And I appreciate that.
All right. As the night slowly comes to a close, both of you climb into bed. Some are able to get to sleep a little bit easier than others, as now ideas and images are possibilities are flashing through your brain and making one anxious before even that slowly lulls you to sleep, making you slowly fall to sleep. And eventually, you guys end your night. So, congrats. You had a nice conversation. Nice. I would like, since you both are going to sleep, please roll a d20 for me.
Oh God.
7.
Okay.
I got a natural 20.
Nice.
Okay. Let me write this down.
I used a different dice this time.
He got a 7. Nick's
I got a fucking 7.
nat 20.
What number? A fucking 7. Of course it was a fucking 7. I'm never gonna think of that number the same after this campaign. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry. That number's gonna follow us into almost every campaign.
I know it's in fairy too, so it's like every time it's gonna be
It's
fucking
a very
7.
so 7 is a very like traditional number I found in a lot of occult and like a lot of like lore. Like there's so many 7s. It's 7s and 6s. So I'm like, brah. Alright, but I am going to end this recording now and let our ending kind of fade out.